Well, what a day we have been having as far as sports is concerned. Virat Kohli announcing his test retirement, and now we finally have gotten the revised IPL schedule that is there. So, I will just read out what is the official starting date. For people who want to know when is the tournament actually beginning? Well, not May 16th, it's beginning on May 17th. That is one. The other major thing is that May 17th to June 3, that is your new IPL revised schedule. That means June 3 is your IPL final. So basically, the key points is total of 17 matches, point number one. May 17th to June 3, that is number two. Point number three, double headers only on Sunday. That is point number three. And then when you look at it, the other major thing regarding the start of the match, it won't be LSG versus RCB. It is going to be RCB versus KKR in Bengaluru. The six venues are Bengaluru, Jaipur, Delhi, Lucknow, and you have Ahmedabad, and you have that's about it. You will be playing in Kolkata also, yes, for because of the final and the thing there. But
That
for
will
people,
that will be right. As of now, that still needs to be decided. The
yeah,
qualifier and the final venues. I think the front runner in that case was going to be Kolkata, but just because of the weather over there, there is still uncertainty on where the qualifier, eliminator, and the finals will be played. So I think that will be more clear as we get closer to that because of the weather. But interestingly, I don't know if you pointed that out or not before I joined, but there were a lot of questions about the game that stopped midway. That was the Delhi versus the Punjab game in Dharamshala. So we have now gotten clarity on that as well. That game will also be taking place again from the beginning. That's going to happen on the 20. It's going to happen
24th
on the 24th of May, and that's going to happen in at Jaipur. So that game, just because it wasn't even halfway through the first innings, I think if I'm not wrong, 11 or 12 overs were only bowled before that game was called off. So that game as well, the points are not going to be split. That game will be played again, and the venues for the final qualifier and the eliminator, as subject to the weather. I think that will be decided if Kolkata there isn't threat of too much rain. I think it's going to be Kolkata itself only.
there
Yeah,
is a very strange thing because Hyderabad has lost all their games.
Hmm.
Hyderabad's not hosting any venue. So the problem now is for Delhiites, there is an even bigger thing. For people like us living in Delhi, you've now got Chennai
Three,
Super Kings versus Rajasthan Royals in
three.
Delhi.
A total
Yeah,
of three games.
Delhi
three games.
Capitals versus Gujarat Titans, and Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, I don't know why Hyderabad has lost all the games. Is there a weather threat there also? That is what we have analyzed. But three neutral games, when you look at it, you got RCB versus KKR in Bengaluru. That is RCB's home game. Rajasthan Royals versus Punjab Kings. That is Rajasthan Royals' home game in Jaipur. Delhi Capitals Gujarat Titans. That is in home. You've got LSG versus SRH in Lucknow. That's LSG's home game. CSKRR is in Delhi. Now that is a different thing. So Delhi, we are thinking, oh, what will happen to Dhoni? Will he be seen in Delhi? Well, you got your chance. He's going to be there in Delhi. Then Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals in Mumbai. Gujarat Titans versus LSG in Ahmedabad. RCB versus SRH in Bengaluru. Punjab Kings versus Delhi Capitals, like what Shashwat rightly pointed out, no splitting of points. The game will start right from scratch. So that is in a neutral venue. Gujarat Titans versus CSK in Ahmedabad. Sunrisers versus KKR in Delhi. Punjab versus Mumbai also in Jaipur. So Jaipur is also seeing a lot of neutral games in that sense. LSG versus RCB, that is last the last game that is there. So
Yeah.
this is
So
the
I think
situation.
It's a little
Just a couple of
surprising that the
points here.
final will be played out on a Tuesday. I think that is something that's very surprising because
Yeah, yeah.
heading into there were a lot of speculation that the schedule is going to come, and I think the one point of discussion over there continuously was that if how is the final, somehow you had to play the final either on the 26th or then you had the option of 30th, which could have been a Sunday as well. So you would have wanted to play the final on a day where the broadcasters could have been happy as well. But I think as far as logistics and all of these things are concerned, you'll have to play it on a Tuesday now. But another interesting thing, just before Siddharth Gulati sir comes in, I think one thing that's going to be really interesting now is that the India A team, we were going to see a lot of faces in the India A team who would have wanted to leave a mark over there as far as the selection then for the England tour is concerned. But now the players who will be playing in the playoffs at least will might not be able to play at least the first game of the India A tour, because that, if I'm not wrong, is starting on the 30th of this month, and then the
Yes,
second
yes,
unofficial
yes.
test starts on the 6th. So the players like, for example, you can say a Karun Nair, if Delhi Capitals is in contention and makes it to the playoffs, then a Karun Nair might not be able to give his representation in England for the first unofficial test. So that is something that now the BCCI will have to see how will the players being managed. Are the Australian players going to be coming here or not? Are the South African players? They don't have. Chalo, South Africa does not have too many players who are playing the white ball format and the red ball format. But for Australia, a Stark, a Hazelwood, lots of players will have to see, because Stark and Hazelwood are the two players who are definitely going to be part that could be part of the final four as well. Hazelwood for sure. So that is something that needs to be figured out by the franchises now, because the BCCI is very clear that this is how the schedule is going to be like.
Yeah, so I think for all the viewers, just joining in, so let me just summarize them. What's the latest update, and then I'll get to a couple of questions that I have for you and the fans who are joining in. So the IPL, good news is that it's going to resume on May 17th, and it's going to last until June 3rd. The venues for the playoffs, the qualifier one, eliminator, qualifier two, and obviously the summit clash are going to be announced later. Delhi is getting a total of three matches now. Before the stoppage, Delhi was scheduled to host just one more match, but now, due to the rescheduling, due to making sure that you conduct the matches which are pretty much safe as far as the cities are concerned, Delhi is set to get three more games here, and the venues for the final and the other qualifier matches and the playoff matches are going to be announced later. Just a couple of questions, I think, and maybe this calls for an interesting, quick discussion here. That I'm not sure whether there is any weather threat in Hyderabad. Obviously, occasionally rain here and there. But is it due to the standoff between the Sunrisers Hyderabad team and the HCA that was being reported, during the IPL when it was actually going on? Is that really the reason why Hyderabad hasn't really gotten any matches? Is it some kind of a punishment that the HCA has gotten because of the fights or the argument that they were involved with the Sunrisers Hyderabad franchise, or do you see there is more to what meets the eye here? And maybe you can we can have your opinions before I shift to the next question.
No, I don't think so. That's the case. I think there are some other reasons why Hyderabad would not have gotten the games over there. I think that's because of the, uh, you know, uh, how whatever the situation over there at this point would be. But I don't think that is going to be the case, and I don't think the BCCI will penalize any home board in that sense to not agree to a franchise. The cricket association, which is home to any franchise, it's their own choice to go according to what they want, what the franchise wants, or do it their way as well. It's just that the truce is there between, there's an mutual understanding between the home ground and the franchise that is going to be playing their home games over there. But I don't think you can actually in a way punish the Hyderabad Cricket Association because of that. I think there could be other reasons for that. I think I remember Pakistan played a lot of games over there in
Yeah,
Hyderabad during the
yeah, yeah,
23
yeah.
ODI World Cup as well. So I think all of those things might be one reason why Hyderabad isn't hosting these many games. But I don't think this could be the reason why Hyderabad is not doing that. They had an argument or weren't on the same page as the Sunrise Hyderabad.
Yeah, we are joined by Nikhil at this point in time. Nikhil, what is the major surprise that you found in the schedule? First, the major surprise for us was a final on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, amongst many things that have surprised me, one, there was a lot of talk about pushing the venues to just south of India. That hasn't happened just alone. So you've got Delhi there. I can see you've got Jaipur, you've got Lucknow. So that's the first thing that I noticed, that there is no mm, worry as such on that front. So you've got all the North India venues still there. Uh, that's the first thing you notice. The secondly, we thought there'll be many a days with two games, but that's also not the case. They've just kept the double headers to
Sundays.
Sunday, so only Sundays have the double headers. So that's another thing that I see. But yeah, you had to have a final, I think, on Tuesday. Looking at the various scenario now, it goes on till 3rd of June, the IPL, with the final on 3rd of June. I think under the circumstances, it's the best possible thing that you could have done. Remember, you're sitting on 12th of May today, and to start it within 5 days, I think you need to give credit to the BCCI as well as the IPL to ensure that on 12th you announce that the IPL starts in 5 days time on the 17th from Saturday. So I think that itself is full credit to the BCCI. So those are just the first thing that have come to mind. As I was seeing that the game that was on the other day, which had to be interrupted, the Delhi versus Punjab game, I don't see it here.
No, no, it's
Uh,
happening. 24th May is when that game is
24th
scheduled now.
Sorry,
in
okay, it's been
Jaipur.
pushed back because I was only seeing on top, so it's been pushed back. Okay, correct. So yeah, that game is also still there. So yeah, that is
It will
what
start
you've
from
got. You
scratch.
still have those, yeah, you still have those gaps between eliminator qualifier 2 and qualifier 2 and the final. Remember, we were discussing how they could have had qualifier 1 eliminator on the same day itself, but that's not been done. The only thing I find another thing surprising is that they haven't announced the venue for these games. I wonder why.
So, so the reason for that is ideally it had to be Kolkata that had to host the playoffs, in particular the final, but because of the weather conditions over there, it was already in the there was already reports that was circulating that the venue for the final and the qualifiers will have to be relooked at. That was mainly because of the weather, that there could be a lot of rain on during those days in Kolkata, and that's why I think they haven't really announced the venues for the later stages of the tournament.
You will
Okay.
probably host it in Hyderabad also. I mean, qualifier one and eliminator were supposed to be held in Hyderabad. I think that might still happen because I think in the original schedule, SRH had only one home game. That home game has been shifted to Delhi now. So that is why I think that schedule announcement of the playoff venues will come later. But then, yes, it is very strange that why, if you know where your playoff venues are technically, when you look at it, finalist and winner hosts the two games of the qualifiers,
Yeah,
eliminator, and the qualifier and final. But in this case, yeah, weather in Kolkata, and I don't know why they have not made Hyderabad. I think they'll announce it formally afterwards. So, yeah, that.
but interestingly, Nikhil sir pointed out one thing that games we were expecting that games will be shifted from the northern side of the country to the western or the southern part of the country. But very interesting that it is absolutely opposite to it has happened, because Delhi prior to this was hosting just one more game in at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. But now, as per this new venue, Delhi will be hosting three games. One will be Delhi Capitals, and two games will be of Kolkata, Sunrise Hyderabad,
SK
and
versus RR
Rajasthan,
and
Chennai
SRH
Super
versus
Kings. Yeah.
SRH versus KKR. Initially in Hyderabad, it will now be held in Delhi. CSKRR that was supposed to be held in Chepauk will now be held in Delhi. So yes, MS Dhoni, last time people were saying, oh, why is he not coming to Delhi? Well, he will be coming to Delhi then at that particular time. So yeah, that's the current situation when you look at IPL, which is beginning from May 17th with only two double headers in the entire 2 weeks that you've got. That too on a
But
Sunday.
I think
I still think that they should have announced if you've announced all the venues, why not the playoff venues as well? It wouldn't have made much of a difference. The other thing I'm happy to note is that all the talk about you going to have the entire IPL in 2 or 3 venues, that's also not the case. Now you've
Hmm.
you've picked 6 venues, so
Yeah.
that's also incredible. by the BCCI. So you pick 6 venues to be hosting games, which is also incredible. So it's effectively a full-fledged IPL that you had
Hmm.
expected. It's effectively that, with the exception of just dates getting pushed and a lot of those home and away thing gone. But 6 venues, the remaining games, same number of gaps, no double headers. It's pretty much the same IPL. It's just that you took a water break and you're back at it again.
Yeah,
I think
but
one thing is for sure here that now it gives the teams who have been struggling in the in the middle standings here a chance to maybe make a comeback, because more often than not that's the home advantage is not really going to be there for some of the teams. It could be a blessing in disguise for someone like a Delhi Capitals, also could be for any of the other teams too. Obviously CSK, RR, SRH have been eliminated, but what it does is that I think in a way it gives Delhi Capitals a realistic chance of making a comeback, and I'm sure that we'll discuss all about it in the dugout as to which team could make a comeback here. KKR could also make a comeback. You don't really know what can happen. So I think that's
But
one of the points.
Virati, there is a problem. There is a huge problem now with the. I don't know how they have agreed with the overseas players at this point in time about the
Hmm.
schedule, because Delhi Capitals are mostly missing a Mitchell Stark, because he has to go to the WTC final also.
I think it's
Sure,
it's more or less it's just for with the Australian players, because they are supposed to attend a pre-conditioning camp as well in UK just before the WTC final. So that is something where it's going to be a problem. And more or less, see, for Pat Cummins and Travis Head, even if they come or they don't come, the team is anyways eliminated. For RCB, I think Hazelwood, anyways, if the season would have gone as per schedule, also, it was highly unlikely that he would have made a return because of the shoulder injury that he has at this point of time. It's just that Mitchell Stark, because his team, Delhi Capitals, is also at a very at a very touch and go sort of a situation where it might just affect the chances of Delhi Capitals. But apart from that, I don't think anybody will be affected that much in that sense, because Hazelwood anyways wasn't playing, and Cummins and Head, with them being there or not being there, won't really make a huge difference to the Sunrise Hyderabad as far as the playoff conditions is concerned. So it's just
But
Mitchell Stark, I think, who.
no, but I think they'll find a way to even have mid Stark. The final is 15th, and you're finishing.
11th,
I mean, the
11th is
WTC
the
final
Final
final.
is
11 to
11th, 11th. Final is 11th, 11 to
yeah,
15th.
11 to 15th. So your
Yeah.
WTC final is 11 to 15th, and you're finishing on 3rd of June. So there's a long gap. Yeah, I mean, they can make an exception of allowing someone like. I mean, for that, firstly, Delhi will have to reach the final, which is not happening as it seems like at the moment. So the player. I think Delhi play their last game on the 24th.
No, not
Yeah,
24th. Wait.
Yeah,
yeah, they
24th.
play their last match on the
Yeah.
Oh,
24th.
yes. PBKs
From
versus.
there, yeah, so 24th they're playing. So 24th to the final is a long gap. Yeah, you'll have him for all your games. Don't worry. But even if you have to reach after that, they will. I think they'll make that exception. So not much to worry about for anybody.
Yeah. I think when you look at it, if Hazelwood's not there, they have a Scott Boland. And when Hazelwood doesn't play, Boland plays, and Boland's not part of the IPL. So that's why, yeah, you've got a
No,
chance now.
Hazelwood anyways wasn't going to play the remaining IPL. That was because of the shoulder injury.
No,
So it
even for
doesn't really.
WTC, he looks doubtful. I don't.
WTC final, he's Cricket Australia is not worried. That's what I've
Yeah.
read.
Yep.
They're
So
not
that
worried.
is.
No. As per
Wow.
latest fresh reports, I've read it very recently. They are not worried about Hazelwood. He should be fit by the final of the WTC.
Yeah. So RCB versus KKR. That is the game. The first game of IPL 2025 was that game at Eden Gardens. Now, after resumption, the first game is RCB versus KKR. Talk about symmetry and talk about symbolism. This time, though, it will be at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. So, yes, the game where it was supposed to resume, LSG versus RCB, immediate. Now, that is the last league game of
Hmm.
IPL. So that is a very, very odd way when you look at it. But yeah, I am not able to digest my fact that a weekday final, a Tuesday final. Wow,
Yeah.
that is something we are so used to Saturdays or Sundays having these kind of things for so many years. Now we are having a Tuesday. We did
You
a
have qualified too.
yeah. Qualified two is on
Recently.
Sunday. Yeah, but Monday you have a week off, and that's also yep. Did 2009 IPL happen on a weekday? That we'll have to check.
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, yeah. So that's
RCB Deccan Chargers. RCB Deccan Chargers. Yeah.
yeah. But everybody is like saying it's not a good
Maybe
schedule. I mean,
maybe
Roshan
RCB
Kumar is
could be
in the
lucky
final.
with not having a final on a Sunday.
Ah, I wish it could happen on a Sunday. Yeah, really, it should have happened. So yes, then GGK now is confident.
I
Kuch bhi
think
ho
you
ya
should
na
just be
everything.
happy. The IPL has resumed. Just be happy with that. Now stop
Correct.
demanding final on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's come back. It's spread. People are waiting for it. It's back now. It can't be an ideal scenario. So enjoy it.
Yep. Indeed. So Delhi and Jaipur, this schedule has benefited these two venues because they are getting additional games in that sense. So
Not the
yeah,
venues.
well,
People of Delhi and Jaipur should be very happy today.
I know who, which
Our
people is
answer is
happy.
another opportunity to go and watch Kolkata Knight Riders.
Of course, yes, opportunity for people to
This time
catch
we
MS
can go.
Dhoni for one last time.
Yeah, so
So
our
in that
answer
case,
can go this time again. Kolkata
yes,
Knight Riders. Yeah.
yeah, KKR SRH in Delhi, but then we have to get certain things for that.
I hope he
So
gets the tickets this time.
yeah. But then Aditya Kavlekar is saying without foreigners, the whole balance of teams will be gone for a toss. I don't think Aditya Kavlekar that is the situation. I think the foreigners are all there. It depends on the
Yeah.
team.
They most of them haven't even gone back. Janssen is
Yeah,
still in Dubai, if I'm not wrong. Marco Janssen is in
he's the
Dubai
only
only.
one who's in Dubai from PB Games. Rest all are in India. So
Yeah,
just
so
for that, give the
then
title
what's
to
the
Punjab
problem?
Kings here. Just give the title to Punjab Kings. So Rahul Dravid Vinod says they could have played one more double header. And last game as CSK was SRS, so no need of a day gap for qualifier one as both are eliminated. Doing this, they can play final on first Sunday, also saves 2 days. But then the broadcasters have their own way, and I think they are not a fan of having too many double headers. That is what has been proven by the schedule. The broadcasters do not want multiple double headers. So that is why I think it's happened. Only double headers on Sunday. So that is the way we're looking at it. So, oof, what a day, gentlemen. What a day. It started with Virat Kohli's retirement at 11:49 hours on 12th May. It's now 10:54 in the night, and we have got the revised IPL schedule. So, what do you think we look forward to tomorrow? There are reports that the India 8 squad might be announced tomorrow for England.
Wow.
There are a lot of reports
Back to
stating
back
that.
action. Action packed.
But this Monday has been the most memorable Monday ever. So, yep. So, let's call it a night, gentlemen. And we'll see you tomorrow for more updates. IPL schedule is out. Get ready. The party is about to begin on May 17th with RCB versus KKR. So, from me, Siddharth Gulati, Shashwat, and Nikhil, it's good night. Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri. Shubha Khair. Again, eat your vegetables.
And
Don't
don't
trouble your
trouble it.